Hi, this is Joe again with another review. I think in this video we'll be discussing the 1993 film Sleepless in Seattle, starring Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, Bill Pullman, Rob Reiner, and the fake lesbian Rosie O'Donnell. Because this film is kind of like a modern retelling of a classic love story or a love story film called A Fair to Remember. It's like a modern retelling of it. And they do have clips of that movie throughout this one. And people are making references to it, which we'll get into more detail in a minute. Of course, this movie stars Tom Hanks as a widower who just lost his wife. It's not clear what she died of. I think she died of cancer, supposed to die of cancer. And he has a young son, and they were living in Chicago, and of course, Tom Hanks decides to move to Seattle because there's too many bad memories in Chicago, because every street he goes drives down, or every inch in the house, he thinks of his wife. So you think, okay, move to a new town, get a new store, and forget about it, and try to, let's have so many memories of his wife. Well, he's still, or his character is still very depressed about his wife dying. Then his son calls up kind of like a Dr. Law type character on the radio. It's like one of those radio psychiatrists. She has a psychiatrist who has a radio show. So the son, Tom Hanks' son, calls up this radio show saying how depressed his father is. They wish he have his Christmas, because when we were on Christmas time, his Christmas wish was that his father would find a new wife. And of course, the radio station got inundated with phone calls for this guy. And the psychiatrist, the radio show host, calls him Sleepless in Seattle. And that's how they got the title, because he couldn't sleep at night. Because he has dreams, he gets nightmares of his wife and stuff. So the radio station got inundated with letters and phone calls, and they all sent letters to, ended up getting letters and phone calls to Tom Hanks' character, with all these women who wanted to meet him, wanted to date him, wanted to marry him and stuff. And Tom Hanks just couldn't believe the fanfare. Because first of all, he got mad that his son called a radio talk show host to discuss their problems. And then Tom Hanks got on the air, and he starts saying how many memories he had of his wife, and very sweet about it. And so all the women go, oh, so sweet, so caring, all the mushy stuff. And then one of the people who was listening to this radio show happened to be Meg Ryan. And I should point this out, this is one of 3 movies that Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan starred together. I think this is the second movie, and I think it's the best one out of the 3. Of course, Meg Ryan was absolutely gorgeous in this movie. I mean, she was gorgeous in Henry Met Sally, and she was even hotter in this movie. She heard this, and then she instantly fell in love with Tom Hanks' character. But there's a slight problem. The slight problem was that she was currently engaged to Bill Pullman, who of course was fresh off or about to start with a movie with Sandra Bullock while he was sleeping. So, and the funny thing is, I should also mention this out, that a year before, Bill Pullman starred with Tom Hanks in the big hit from the year before, A League of Their Own. So, and you also have Rosie O'Donnell in it, who also starred in that movie, and Bob Reiner's daughter also starred in A League of Their Own. So it's kind of all intermixed in this film with stories with Tom Hanks' previous film, A League of Their Own, which is kind of hugely ironic. Anyway, so she was Meg Ryan's character was engaged to Bill Pullman, and finds out that she doesn't really love the guy. She likes being with him and all that type of stuff, but she doesn't really, love him. She just likes him and all that stuff. Likes him but doesn't love him type of thing. And then of course she does. She was supposed to be working as a reporter for the Baltimore Sun newspaper, which is the only newspaper in the city of Baltimore, I might add. And she says, the more research she does on this guy, the more she's interested in meeting him. And she actually writes a letter to meet this guy. And so, meet me on the top of the Empire State Building on Valentine's Day. Just like in the movie A Fair to Remember. Or meet me at the top of the Empire State Building, Cary Grant and, forgot the actress's name. The actress's name. Deborah Kerr. Deborah Kerr and Cary Grant, Fair to Remember. Which I previously did a review on. So if you haven't seen my review on that movie, please check it out. And so, meet me on top of the Empire, just like in the movie. So they're all comparing this situation to that movie. And one of the running gags in this film is that all the men in this particular film all hate. They don't get it. They don't get that movie. I saw that movie as I just mentioned. I did a review on. I got the movie. I understand the film. But every guy in this movie not only hated the movie, but didn't get the film. And all the women were gushing over the movie A Fair to Remember. I mean, come on. I mean, it's a little bit exaggerated. It felt a little bit exaggerated. It's that part of the movie, but I just felt it was a little bit ridiculous. Anyway, Tom Hanks, they actually got a letter from Meg Ryan's character. His name was Annie. Says, "This is the woman that I like for you, Dad." And the kid says, "Oh, this is the woman I like for you," and all that stuff. And so what the son did, Tom Hanks was not interested at all. And then the son says, "I'm going to do this on my own." So he gets the son, Tom Hanks' son, gets his friend, played by Gabby Hoffman, who I might add played Kevin Costner's daughter in League of Their Own. She's in this movie as well as playing the son's friend. Got on the computer, kind of like in the movie War Games. They made a reservation, got ordered a plane ticket to go to New York just for this day to meet her, and they go to, and the son flies on his own to go to New York City from Seattle to go to the Empire State Building, which he does, and so he stays there at the very top on the 102nd floor observatory, stays there all day long, asking going around to all the women who was up there. So, are you Annie? Are you Annie? To all the women, and they all said no because Meg Ryan was not there. She was there on a date with her fiance at this dinner, and they have a view of the Empire State Building, and to meet this guy, and said, "Oh, I gotta do it," and Pullman says, "Okay, do it. I want you to marry me," and they broke off the engagement right then and there and said, "I know, just like me, I know you're not in love with me, but I know that you have to do this. Otherwise, to clear your conscience and stuff, you have to do this thing." So she eventually gets there, and meanwhile, Tom Hanks knew that his son flew to New York, so he gets on the very next flight, and goes to New York, meets the son at the Empire State Building, grabs him, and takes a nap. But meanwhile, the son left his backpack there. And meanwhile, as soon as they go down one elevator, Meg Ryan, obviously, stuff happens in the movies all the time, comes up in the next elevator, and she finds the kid's backpack, and also taken, down and lost their found and stuff. And just about to go back in the elevator, that's when Tom Hanks and the son comes back up to get the backpack. And of course, they finally met, and of course, they fell in love. It's like they had the ending they didn't have in The Fair to Remember because it was like a little bit tragic. If you haven't seen that movie, with Deborah Kerr, she gets injured. Does not meet Cary Grant in the Empire State Building, but a couple of years later, they met again, and they fell in love, and they stay together at the end in that movie. This movie is different. They actually meet in the Empire State Building, and love wins all. At the end of the film, I thought it was a cute. It's a cute movie. It's quite short actually. It's about maybe an hour and 40 minutes long. But what's on TV is like it's 2.5 hours. I mean, they stretched it out with the commercials, but it's it's not a bad movie. It's a cute movie, and I think it's this one and also the movie You've Got Mail, which is the third final film that Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan did together. It's a shame. I mean, it would be great to do another movie, a romantic comedy movie again. Because it's been like over 20 years since they started a movie together, and I thought that they had great on-screen chemistry together. I mean, with all the women that Tom Hanks starred with in the movies over the years, he starred with Meg Ryan the most, 3 times. The other movie they didn't mention was like the first movie they starred together was Joe versus the Volcano, which was terrible, but they made up for it for the other 2 films, this one and You've Got Mail, which I also enjoy. I haven't seen for a long time, so that's why I haven't reviewed it. But Sleepless in Seattle is worth watching, especially if you like romantic comedies, and a movie that's not very long, and it's very quick to go through, and I think it's the first time I've seen this movie. Usually avoid it for some stupid reason. I thought it was such a cliche. As a matter of fact, there was an episode after this movie came out. There was an episode of Baywatch. They had the similar plot as in Sleepless in Seattle, and another variation on it, on the Sleepless in Seattle plot. When the episode was where Mitch was in love with another lifeguard named Stacy, is her name. She dies of cancer, and she was depressed. And Hobie calls into a radio show, does exactly the same thing, and meets a girl in the Santa Monica Pier. So it's almost exactly the same plot as Sleepless in Seattle. The only difference is it was only 1 hour. Baywatch was an 1 hour show and an hour 40-minute movie, but the same cute little process. It's the same plot, Sleepless in Seattle, and they made references to it in the episode as well, of Sleepless in Seattle and A Fear to Remember. So that's my review of Sleepless in Seattle. Please click on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com, that's all WDY, and that's C.com. The homepage of Rally Reviewer, Christy Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.